winter storm warning impacting the bi-state.
I couldn't see from here to the stoplight.
A mix of snow, sleet, freezing rain, and even lightning and thunder, creating a mess on the roads ahead of the first Monday of the new year.
We're going to be out overnight doing the best we can, but that's a pretty tall order. Folks just need to be prepared.
Right now, we're in a weather impact alert across the bi-state. A winter storm affecting all travel from the roads to the airport. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush. The storm has already forced more than 600 school and business closures for tomorrow. You can see every closure called into our system running at the bottom of your screen. We have live team coverage from all over the area, tracking all of the impacts you need to know heading into tomorrow. Let's start tonight by heading over to meteorologist Gary Frank with what else is coming our way overnight, Gary.
Yeah, still dealing with plenty of snow. And as we continue to look at our Doppler radar imagery, we still look at some snow that's moving in after the football game. Of course, we've had the initial band of snow that's picked up a little bit more. And this is an area I'll circle from New Athens to Redbud and Freeburg. That's a spot where you're probably getting 1+ per hour bursts of snowfall. Even though it's moving quickly, it's probably not going to sit there an hour. Those are the big flakes that are coming down if you look outside. There's a little bit of a lull right now around the 270 loop, but look at this from Montgomery City, Wright City, Troy, through most of the area. This is almost moving nowhere as the system is stationary, and it's very close to that as well. This is a steady overnight snow that is between 1/2 inch per an inch per hour snowfall rate in itself. And this is where we're going to get the bulk of our snow into the overnight hours. Then I want to look to the Kansas City area because this is what you're dealing with tomorrow. These are light snow showers for 4 to 8 a.m. So if you're just getting ready to go to sleep and you do have to go to work or school for some reason, this is the type of snow you're dealing with. So that's a lot easier for the road crews to figure out. However, those bursts of snow, as soon as they clear it, there's more on the way, right? And that's kind of what we're fighting right now. The other thing is the wind. It's gusting to 36 miles an hour in St. Charles. It's between 25 and 30 in most spots, and it's blowing it around where our visibilities are making it almost impossible to drive in some cases. And we're under a mile visibility in many spots. Look at Belleville right now. That's one of the spots I highlighted that it was really, really snowing hard. So one of the things I want to look at in the overnight hours in St. Louis, we're not going to drop all that much temperature-wise, but I do think by 5 or 7 o'clock, you'll start to see the snow intensity taper off. And that's where things are finally going to improve for your flights and your drives and things like that. But other than that, we're still talking about more snow. I'm going to talk about the highlights and totals from what we have now and what we're expecting into the overnight hours in just a few minutes.
And right now, 5 on your side's Megan Kernan is out on the roads in our storm tracker. She's been checking in on conditions across the bi-state. And Megan, where are you and what are you seeing out there?
Well, Mike, we are in Fairview Heights on 159, about to get on to 64 westbound heading toward St. Louis. Now, visibility isn't the best. You can see this. We're coming up on an IDOT truck right here, right now, going on to these roads. Now, it's harder and harder to see some of the taillights and highway signage in front of us. We started to see some pavement in at least 2 lanes a few hours ago, but now it's all covered again. IDOT tells us that 2 of their salt trucks, well, you're seeing one of them right now, were involved in crashes earlier. So it's just a good reminder to, if you have to be on the road, leave plenty of room for crews and other drivers. Now we're gonna go to some video that we got just a few hours ago. This car was stuck off of South Grand Boulevard. Their tires spun out trying to get off the side road, and then a group of men pushed the car back onto the street. Some IDOT and MoDOT crews have been working 20+ hour shifts today. We saw IDOT reloading their salt trucks and retreating all of the roads tonight. Missouri State Highway Patrol says even before 8 o'clock tonight, they've had close to 500 calls for service and over 60 crashes. Looking into your morning commute, forecasts of wind gusts and blowing snow is mostly what IDOT and MoDOT are worried about.
The duration of blowing snow and the top end wind gust to 35, which is unfortunately getting us real close to blizzard territory.
Temperatures are dropping, so our chemicals work slower in those conditions, so it's going to take some time to do that. So they just need to be careful tomorrow morning. If they do have to get out and go to work, leave yourself plenty of time.
Now, you can kind of tell what I was talking about earlier. The visibility isn't the best. You can't see some of these taillights that we're seeing somewhat close in front of us, including highway signage. And MoDOT says even if you have the opportunity to work from home tomorrow, do it. You can see the wind is starting to blow some of the snow all over the place, and that's what's going to be an issue with visibility. So if you are out driving tomorrow, just be prepared for covered snow and it to be blowing. For now, live in the Storm Tracker, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
And as you can tell, these slick conditions have been treacherous for drivers. Our Annie Krall is live in St. Charles County by I-70 after hearing about drivers who have been stranded in this snow. Annie.
Mike, that wind is just gruesome that Megan was talking about. It is probably the definition of poor driving conditions right now, and we were caught in the thick of it because our car got stuck and we had to push it out when we were trying to find a parking spot just to get set up. Missouri State Highway Patrol telling us that they've had calls for 379 stranded drivers from midnight last night till 8 p.m. today. And I spoke with towing companies as well as snowplow drivers who say they're expecting to be very busy heading into Monday. And right now they're looking down the barrel of a 12-hour, if not 18-hour shift tonight.
We saw 5 or 6 cars in the ditch on the way here.
Cars sliding out all along I-64 Sunday, making Brian Wemberly grateful he wasn't one of them on his way to work downtown.
I took the streetway. I didn't take the highway. If you're on the highway, drive safe. If you're on the street, drive safe.
But his car was partially snowed in on Market Street until some nearby shovelers helped out. You ever had it this mildly snowed in before?
No, actually, this is the first time I've ever been this snowed in this car. So, yeah, this is the first time with this car. Gotcha. I need a truck.
On their way to a rescue on I-55, we caught up with employees at Titan Towing.
And we're out here working. It's pretty slam, getting people off the road and helping people out, doing our part.
Working since late Saturday night.
So we haven't slept that much, just got a nap in. Back out here helping, working.
Also not sleeping much are snowplow drivers like the Hefner family.
No sleep, a lot of crappy gas station food, and we'll probably be out till sometime Tuesday doing this.
They've owned Wentzville Snow and Ice for 31 years. After 5 winters, it's still hard for Chris's daughter, Carly Hefner, to see stranded drivers.
It makes me scared for the people because it could be older folks that don't know how to drive. Like normally, on a sunny day, it's hard for them to drive C or anything like that. And it's just, these conditions are terrible. Like it's not ideal to go drive somewhere that you don't really need to drive.
Makes me wonder where you possibly need to be going when it's so junky outside, like what kind of days people are having if they got to leave their houses in this kind of weather.
And it may be bad for business, but even towing companies are whistling the same tune.
Try to stay at home if need be. Otherwise, if you're out there, call Titan Towing. We'll be out there.
And besides all those towing companies and, of course, the snowplow drivers, I also spoke with the St. Charles City Police Department, who've been handling most of these situations where the cars are sliding off the highways. They tell me that since last night at 10 o'clock, they've had 33 stranded drivers call in. And we've been able to talk to all of them and update you, but they said officers aren't going to reduce their response teams heading into Monday. Reporting live in St. Charles County, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
And while most people were able to stay home on this Sunday, there were folks who had to brave the storm, many of them clearing the roads to keep others safe. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski is live in Kirkwood near Interstate 44. Laura.
Mike, these crews have been so busy. All afternoon I talked with them while they were clearing sidewalks, parking lots, and other roads. And they say they love to help people and they're going to get this job done.
Roger Bascala of R&B Snowplowing says he's been working hard since 5 a.m. Sunday.
Putting salt down, clearing it off, spreading more salt, and just keep making circles, trying to keep the ice off the lots and keep everybody safe.
He's been doing this since 1974, getting into the business when construction jobs dropped off in the winter, now taking care of properties for more than a dozen St. Louis County clients, but it's a tough job.
Expensive trucks, expensive equipment. Something breaks down, you don't make any money. The last few years, we haven't had any money.
And this storm in particular has been hard to keep up with for most crews, including Brightside Landscaping, who was busy downtown.
We had the whole sidewalk cleared, and then about an hour later, it was covered again. So they've been here for a long time now. I've only been here for about 2 hours.
They too pick up the snow removal jobs when landscaping season is over. Brady Stump says he's usually out on the family farm working on an average day, but once the snow hits, he heads out.
It's fun, something to do other than sit at home and be locked up in the house. I mean, it's better than sitting there doing nothing.
Tommy Grover says it's all about lending a helping hand.
Try to clear sidewalk for them so they have a safe place to walk.
And from one worker to another.
Just take it easy out there and don't drive crazy. Stay safe.
And Megan reminded you all of this earlier, but just one more time for the crews that I talked to today, don't crowd the plow or those utility trucks that are laying down salt. This is going to stick around and they have a lot more work ahead. Reporting live in Kirkwood, Laura Marcheski, 5 on your side.
The winter storm is forcing government buildings like St. Louis City Hall and landmarks like the Arch and the Zoo to close tomorrow. Hundreds of schools are also closed tomorrow, and that includes the area's largest districts such as Rockwood, Parkway, Ferguson, Florissant, Hazelwood, and St. Louis Public Schools. You can still see a scroll of all the closures at the bottom of your screen. You can also text the word closings to 314-425-5355, and we'll send you a link to our complete list. Right now, thousands of people in the bi-state are without power. At last check, Ameren reported more than 21,000 people are without power in mostly southern Illinois, and just over 9,000 people in the dark in Missouri. Officials also asked for customers to be patient while they try to restore power. Tonight, more than 200 flights have been canceled at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. Cancellations have left hundreds of flyers stranded at the airport. And across the country, close to 2,500 flights were grounded and more than 29,000 were delayed throughout the day. We spoke with flyers stuck at Lambert who just want to get home.
So we waited in the plane for like two and a half hours. Then we got out. We were not told what's going on. Then they put us waiting, and then they just gave us like vouchers for the hotel.
Travelers should check their airline's app or contact customer service if they need help. As the storm continues, we'll keep updating weather and road conditions on air, on KSTK.com, and of course on the 5+ streaming app. And if you can stay safe, remember to text your winter weather photos and videos to 314-425-5355. It gives everyone a window into how things are looking across the bi-state area. And when you text the number on your screen, make sure you share your name and location so we can give you credit if we do show it on the air.